What is up, everybody? This is your boy D the Prophet,
And you already know I'm JR the Great.
and it is 7:06. We are 6 minutes
6.
past the hour,
Like it go too.
but it's Blended Views 614. How you doing this evening, JR?
Hey man, you know I'm blessed and highly favored. You know
Ooh.
what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Y'all ugly, but y'all cute too at the same time. It's just a sweatshirt.
That's precious.
Represent my guy, man, Eddie Estelle, man. He went to my high school, man. I had to represent the Eddie Estelle selection. You remember Ed? Yeah, man. So you know, this was a
We haven't even introduced this yet.
Nah, it's cool.
We're already having a conversation.
Because it's my guy, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to let he know that what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Let me
But now let's reintroduce ourselves. Now go ahead, man.
This is Ken, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Ken.
Goodrum.
Goodrum is to my right.
Yes.
Ken, you want to go ahead and just tell the audience a little bit about who you are?
Tell you right. Well,
Goody.
testing 1 2 3 testing 1 4 3 is all love, baby. This is Ken Goodrum. I was actually born here in Columbus, Ohio, so shout out to the CO. But when my mom and dad got divorced, I moved to Cleveland at 2. So Cleveland is home, 216 all the way. I'm from the city, not the suburbs. Off 93 in Buckeye, 93rd, excuse me, in Buckeye. I'm a 2011 graduate at Central State University.
CSU.
Way to go, Marauders, Marauder Land.
Yes, sir.
Married, 4 kids, 4 boys. I can't miss.
How long you been married for?
Forever.
Amen.
Forever. Oh, you can break.
Yeah,
That's what's up. That's what's up. So
shout out to my family. Thank them for sharing me in this space right here.
that's what's up, man. Well, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and shout him out as well, man. This man right here, man, is one of my, you know, big brothers, man, mentors, you know, guidance counselors, disciplinary, all that
Now,
good
when
stuff.
you say disciplinarian,
Hey, so when I went to college,
Detail.
right?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I went to Central State University.
in your previous life,
You know how we do. So this was my hall coordinator. My freshman year I went to school, he was over the dorm that I lived in. Okay. And man, when I tell you that was one of the most intense, strenuous, craziest, wildest years of my life.
He was a wild boy.
Came a long way. Let's just put it like that. This guy really helped me, you know what I'm saying, put a center on my focus, man, and helped me through some situations, you know what I mean, that I had troubles with. And it was like when we chopped it up, man, he said, "Hey, I want to be on the show." I said, "Man, what? You got it. We gonna make it happen. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen." And sure enough, man, you know, we sit here talking and it was like, let's do it. So he made his way, man, and I appreciate you, Go. Goody, man, Goody. You know, that's what we knew him as, Goody. If anybody was in here, Hunter Hall, you know what I'm saying, Hunter Hall 2000, even before that, it was Goody.
Yes.
Doing something over there, bro.
Yeah, lost everybody.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you tweaking. It's cool. There you go.
I just want to say how proud I am of you, man.
I appreciate
watch you grow. So thank you for allowing me to be here. You and your co-host. I watch you. I pay attention to your show. Y'all doing great things. Continue to keep doing what you're doing. Salute.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, bro. So today, man,
we got a list.
Yeah,
Laundry list of topics.
I mean, the thing about it is, man, this guy right here is a great conversationalist. You know what I mean? We can get into some topics, man, and he gonna keep it 1,000. That's the one thing I like about Goody. You know what I'm saying? He gonna keep you, you know, thinking. Like, you know, a lot of times people get caught up in just what's given, you know, on the news or on media, social media, and that's it. But in actuality, man, you know, we can't just take that and that's what it is, and then you just go with it. And then when it comes out false, you done gave all this energy out. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, I appreciate that. And that's another reason why I definitely wanted him, because we do conversations for the soul, you know what I mean? And we keep it 1,000, and we talk about relevant things, you know, things that's going on right now, things that could, you know, emerge from what's going on. So,
and sometimes it may be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
but it needs to be
addressed. Exactly. And you already know this is a Blended Views podcast show. So we take our topics and give perspectives from, you know, whatever angle needs be. So yeah, go ahead. Let's get right into it, D. No.
That's what I'm. Can you hear me now? Yes.
No. Yeah, we can't because you. Go ahead. Say it again.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Technical difficulties, hiccups, man. We all have them. You know what I'm saying? It happens like that sometime, right? Yeah, I wrote a book. You can hear him? No? A little bit?
You can hear me?
Nope.
No.
Let's see what the audience says.
Sorry, they don't need to hear me.
No, we definitely
Yeah, we need to hear you, man. Like, your voice is needed.
It's necessary.
Your voice is needed, man.
Okay, so yeah, it gotta be the line, man. If nothing else, you plug.
Can you hear me?
There.
Oh, yeah,
There
you know
we
what?
go.
They had put it into the.
Come on, man. You hit 1, 2, 3, 4 anyway.
No, it's on the 5th one.
Oh,
It's on the fifth one. Okay, so
We
I'm
got
back.
action.
I'm back. All right.
There we go. Let's do it.
So where are we going?
You know, we always start off with sports.
Well, recap. We need to recap last week.
Let's do it.
Last week was amazing. For those that follow myself on Instagram or follow the Blend of You site, you know, we have a recap video that we've been putting up recently. And remind me of her name. I'm terrible with names again.
Leah.
She was amazing. Leah. Lovely Leah.
Lovely Leah.
Leah was amazing.
Yeah.
Her confidence, it just bleeds out. And I really enjoyed the conversation that we had, just talking about
we was in relationships, man. It was
Yes.
all relationship topics, man. It was
Yes.
based off of Hey, I don't think he
Been a
here
long
yet.
day.
He ain't here yet, man. You know what I'm
Man.
saying? He's a principal, by the way, so he be
It's
having,
been a long day.
yeah, you know what I mean? He told me
Been-
about it beforehand. I had to catch him real quick,
Yeah.
bro. But it's cool, man. He be getting donkey of the day. We don't call it donkey. We call it walrus
Hey, yeah.
or platypus.
Don't want any
I got the
compliments.
platypus.
Right, none of that. But
So lovely Leah really brought a wonderful perspective last week with relationships going to February. And there was a list of topics that we touched on. I don't
Yeah.
even remember, but she's amazing.
yeah, and
wanna
then
have her
for her age as well too. She was 24, man. And-
I didn't even know.
yeah, you know what I mean? For her to be, you know, as you know, like in depth with her what she wanted as a woman, you know, it was actually nice to know that, because you got a lot of women that's older that don't even really, I don't know, they don't know what they want, they don't know where they want to go. It's nothing. So it was fulfilling and refreshing to kind of get her feedback on the topics that we hit on. So,
And she's single, gentlemen. So
Yeah.
hit her up.
hit her up. I don't know if she wanted to tell people that, but it's cool.
She said it on the show.
She did say that on the show.
Just recapping.
Yeah, just recap.
Man, sports.
Yeah.
First off, Frank Robinson passed away. I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan,
Okay.
so to hear a Reds player pass away is sad. He was a good guy. You know, a lot of times in baseball, you know, you hear some sketchy characters, but Frank Robinson was always a stand-up character. So
Gotcha.
sad to see him go. The Super Bowl.
Loved it.
Okay.
See?
Loved it.
Now, I thought it was super lame.
Okay. And I told you it wasn't super lame at all, but I could see why, if you're not a football lover, or if you didn't, if you don't really get into, you know,
I'm an
Tense.
arena football type
I don't
cat.
see it, man.
Like it's got to
Yeah.
be action. It's got to be high scoring.
like,
See, the great thing about football is it's a chess match.
right.
And
Mhm.
yes, you're going to have your high scoring
Mhm.
games. But to me, those frustrate me, like Oklahoma, like the Big 12.
Mm-hmm,
Don't like the Big 12, no defense.
Mhm.
And so, you know, that was a defensive game, and
Yes,
looking
sir.
at the games within the game.
Yep.
And then also, I think that the lights was just a little bit too big for golf.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that's what it really came down to. I don't understand why they wasn't running Todd Gurley
Right.
more. I still don't know what that was.
I don't
about.
even understand why he wasn't in the
So-
game. Like, he just was on the sideline. You know what I
You gotta
mean?
give Tom Brady his credit, man. You know,
Mhm.
love it, like him or love him. You got to respect him, man.
Well,
Can't-
Well, I respect Brady, you know what I'm saying, for sure. But at the same time, I feel like it wasn't him, though. You know, this game, you really can't
Yeah.
get that to him. Like, you want to give the defense credit. You
Yeah,
want to get a
defense.
kicker credit.
yeah,
You want to give, the MVP, Edelman, credit.
he wouldn't give it to him, but I can understand why they did.
That's what I said,
I can
too.
understand why
You know what I mean? He did a lot for that game for them per se. But speaking of that, let's twist it up real quick. So the issue lies that Edelman was he got hit with the peds. He was
performance enhancing drugs. Yes.
At the beginning of the season.
Yes.
So he missed 4 games.
Yes.
There was talk saying that if because in baseball, if you get caught with performance enhancement drugs, you miss a certain amount of games, but you cannot do anything in the postseason.
Okay.
So they were saying, like, should that be implemented into football?
I don't know, man. I think he paid his debts.
Right.
I mean, he did. He did it. He got caught. He paid his debt. Let him do what he do.
That's double jeopardy, really, because you're saying we're going to penalize you twice,
right,
for something that you did. Give them a penalty.
Yeah, because my thing is, if that's the case, then they can't play the rest of the season. If you get caught in the middle of the season doing that, then you can't play no more. If you get suspended for 4 games, then that's what your punishment is, and you keep it moving. But there, it was a topic in the bar. You know what I'm saying about that issue.
But I think the hypocrisy of that whole thing is the fact of performance enhancing drugs. You're playing the most violent sport in the world.
Yeah,
it's more violent than NASCAR. It's been equated to being going into a car crash at 35 miles an hour over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And so again, I don't think that you should take anything to enhance your performance.
Right.
But a lot of these things are recoveries.
Yeah, that's
recovery. You out here getting popped, and then as of right now, I think they just instituted a pension fund for the NFL. So these men are modern day gladiators. It's the modern day gladiators. So like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, it is what it is.
Right.
And so, I'm kind of on the fence with that, man. It's how they do they really care about their health? If so, why are they extending the preseason? If they really care, it's like, to me, it's the politics of the NFL I don't like. I love the game. The product on the field I love, but the politics,
it is.
Yep.
So what you think? You think if they did that, they should? You said it was double jeopardy.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they got to pick and choose their battles, and that's not one to fight. Again, like you said, it is a violent sport. I mean, and they are going to take whatever measures they need to take to protect their bodies. That
right.
So,
and I mean, I was just thinking that just real quick, like he was out for a whole season prior to.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, like, if they was giving him some type of steroid or something like that. Not saying that, I don't know if they actually check what they give them while they're off season. Like if you out for a season, I don't think they're going back checking to see if that was what you was taking or whatever to get better, because he came back like a mule.
Well, I guess that was the problem.
Hey, he wasn't playing. He wasn't playing when he got back, so I don't know. Right, that might have been a problem, but yeah, that's the controversy, man. I mean, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, like you said, if you get a penalty, that's it. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah,
let's keep it moving. So let's since we MVP, okay, cool. Football is over. All right, I'm sad. Me too. I'm sad.
This is the depressing part of the year for me.
Yes, man, very depressing, man. I mean, I like football. I mean, I like hoop. Don't get me twisted. I like hoop, but basketball is getting too. It's too.
They don't get the games the same, and then they just wait for the postseason, like LeBron sitting out with his injuries.
Too many
and
theatrics to it. Like it's like a soap opera almost, man.
It's very drama.
And I'll be like, come on, like for real, what happened to us just hooping? Like I can watch a hoop game. Now it's flopping all crazy. Everybody waiting on the trades and the mega teams. What you got?
The power. See, the thing about it is, like you said, I look at things from a different lens. I look at it as that the players are really taking control of the game, and I don't think the powers to be like it.
Okay.
And so if we look at the politics of the game, so we talk about flopping, cool. I respect Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan did a great thing for the game and everything. But however, if we really look at it, in my opinion, we are looking at the ramifications of wanting Jordan to be greater than what he really is. Jordan is already great. So Mount Rushmore, top of Mount Rushmore.
Right.
I'm gonna give him that. LeBron is still a GOAT, but he's better. But that's a whole nother story. But however, you remember they wanted more scoring in the NBA. So after I think his first 3 rings is when they took the handshaking away.
Right.
Remember, a lot of the things they wanted the game to be a lot more free flowing. Pat Riley and them used to muddy the game up, make it slow. So you had the 85, 87 games, much like the Super Bowl, and people didn't like it.
Right.
So they wanted the game to flow. So then you remember it was a period when people couldn't hit a jump shot, couldn't nobody shoot. Now everybody can shoot.
Everybody shoot.
And so I think that, and I think Shaq said it best. When we grew up, we were watching the Shaqs, we were watching, Akeem Olajuwon, we were watching power players.
Yeah, big man.
Kids,
Barkley.
Yeah, Kid Barkley. That was
Right.
That's what I looked up to.
Yeah.
But now the kids are looking at everybody that can shoot.
Yeah.
Dirk Nowitzki. Everybody can step out and hit that
even
jumper.
if you 7'18", you can still shoot.
Everybody practicing all the things. So I think the game is going more, and I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. In my opinion, it is what it is. A more European style.
Gotcha.
The FIFA style of basketball, and it's not as aggressive as the city. It is what it is. I mean, I don't even know if people really hoop in the city anymore. I haven't really seen that.
Yeah, you don't think of Gus Macker tournaments and all that stuff. You don't really hear about it the same. But that's a good way. I guess you're right. Because I mean, when you think about it, like you got LeBron them losing to Indiana the other night, right? They lost by like 40. So while they're losing though, anytime somebody got the ball on the Lakers, they like LeBron's gonna trade you, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when you look at the fact that what you're saying, players having more control than the higher ups, it probably is a true issue. You know what I'm saying? I
mean, think about it in your job. You really want more control in your job. You really want to be able to say, you said you're a principal, right? You really like to, go to the board and say, I want X, Y, Z. And if I don't get these teachers, we going on strike. Like in your mind, you want to say that. Now you don't, but in your mind, you want to say it.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? What's the difference? There is no difference.
Right.
It's just the fact that how do we prioritize people in our lives? So unfortunately, a basketball player is more important than a teacher and a principal. The principal is actually really making real changes in the world, but you can't make those decisions. He can. So I think a lot of times when people lash out, if you go to your job, when I go to my job, I'd rather say I want such and such and such on my team. If not, I'm bouncing.
Right.
Everybody want to do that.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, it's
so you just got to become an entrepreneur, and just
I'm one of those too.
Yeah. Just do what you do, right? Right? Okay.
Streams of income.
Yeah, man. Streams.
What you got over the JR?
Hey, man, look. So I'm kind of salty because what happened was I left my straw, right? So I should have been drunk this by now, right? But there's holes inside of the pouch.
Yeah.
So I got to tuck the hose and then I'm going to be able to drink it. But what I'm doing is I'm doing a 10-day smoothie cleanse, right?
Okay.
So each day has a different level of vegetable fruit content in it. And the beginning one is more to kind of prepare your lining for you not eating solids. You know what I'm saying? For the rest of these days.
Yeah.
So you want some Jetsons type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it is like a power pack, right?
Good old JR.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, I came to a conclusion that, if I want to change my habits diet-wise, working out wise, I think I need to cleanse. I need to get rid of, maybe what's lining that ain't right, that ain't there, and then go from that point. So that's what this is, man. I'm gonna try to drink this without the straw, y'all. So don't pay no attention to me if I.
Well, let's take a quick break, and then let's hit the conversation.
Yeah, let's get right into it, man. Straight talk, man. Facts and opinions, man. It's going down. Conversations for the soul, man. Blended views, man. We got Ken Goodrum with us today, and this is my guy, man. And so y'all stay tuned. And if you ain't told nobody to join in, tell them to.
Yeah, we got to beat the 400, man.
Yeah, get them in. Get them in. Hey, 614-500-7339, man. I'm gonna put that up here too. Whoever calls in, man, you get a ticket to the free. A free ticket to our Absolute Fashion. Absolute Fashion.
Just like the Fire Festival.
Hey,
we going to break. This is Blended Views. All right, we are back. Whoa. We good?
Yeah, we good.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody good. Okay, we got
This is D
good on here.
D the Prophet, JR the
JR the
Great.
Great. I'm right here. My bad. I'm trying to put this telephone number in, man, because we want y'all to call.
My main man Ken to my right. Ken,
Yes.
again, how are you doing this evening?
Doing excellent. Shout out to the men of Omega Psi Phi, man. You got to make sure we get us in here, man. You know, shout out to the P also. You know, we got to make sure Omega Psi Phi is represented
There we go.
everywhere.
Just real quick.
Hey, he did that. He looked at me because I'm a member of the first. You know what I'm saying? You know, Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. You know what I'm saying? Delta Z chapter. You know, we represent every time we in here, so it's all good though, man. Big shout out to the Q Dogs, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all in here, bro. All right, cool. All right, there we go.
Real quick, Ken. So you did a TED Talk, correct?
Yes, sir.
You want to just tell our audience just about what your talk was about?
Well, my talk was about the power and the freedom of forgiveness, and it talks about the relationship or lack thereof of my father. So as I told you in the introduction, I was born in Columbus, Ohio, but my mom and dad got divorced. And since that divorce, I didn't see my dad. He really wasn't involved in my life. And so I talk about the struggles and how that affected me. And then he actually wanted to apologize, and I didn't give him that opportunity. And a year and a half later, he passed away. And so I talk about how, you know, we have that powerful tool of forgiveness, and I didn't utilize it. And then the pain and the anguish that it did to me in doing that. So it was very powerful, man. It took a lot of weight off my shoulders, man. It was a thing that I have been carrying forever. And so now when I do my mentoring or when I talk to people, so even when, you know, like I said, when AG was in school and his crew and all them, I would talk to them the way I wanted my dad to talk to me. And so that's how I really just approach everything. Talk to young ladies, talk to men, just like I really talk. So my boys, I talk to the different age levels of me because my dad wasn't there. And real quick story, my son, who is, you know, you'll be seeing him soon on the football field. He was ball, you know, he's a baller. He can ball. So I was giving him these different stipulations of what he wants a tattoo. He'll be a junior next year. He wants a tattoo. And I said, well, no, you got to do this. You know, first the classroom, this. He's like, wait a minute. That ain't fair. You know, you ain't have to do that. I was like, but I ain't have a father. You do. I said, so therefore it's a difference.
Simple, point blank.
You have you no excuse for you. So that's what it was about, man. So please YouTube it.
What should they type into the search bar?
TEDx Dayton Kenneth Goodrum. Kenneth Goodrum.
Can we put it on our Facebook?
Yeah,
Put it in the search bar if anyone wants to check it out.
Yeah, so I need, you know, I think I'm over 1,000 views, but I like to get to 3,000. So you know, go ahead.
Got to go. All right,
nice.
That's what's up, man. It's that's deep that you were talking about that, man. I've been having some conversations in regards to, you know, like the opportunities that we miss based off of, you know, not taking advantage of it.
Right.
Check this out. And this is dear to you because you know him. Brandon Billups, right? Former Mr. Central State University. I was the first Mr. Central State University, by the way. So with that, me and Brandon built a good relationship real quick, though, because I saw me and him, you know what I mean? And Brandon passed. Okay. So Brandon passed away, and I couldn't make it to his funeral, but I definitely in my heart felt like it was necessary for me to go to Cleveland and at least attempt to, you know, show my respects to his parents. Now, on a lighter note, his parents are deaf. Okay. My story real quick is I went to Cleveland and I actually stood outside in front of his house for about an hour and a half trying to get his parents' attention. because I had a young lady that was his friend that was calling, but I guess the system wasn't working. So I was waving, I was doing everything. I could not get in touch with him, right? So I had took a book, a card, and some flowers. I left it on his car, on their car. The neighbor came outside and said, this is their car. So I left it on the car. I end up leaving, and I didn't hear anything. Mind you, Brandon passed maybe 3 years ago. Monday morning, I got a phone call. His mom called me.
Oh, okay.
And let me know that she finally had received my card in the book from 3 years ago. Okay. So I'm like, cool. I didn't know until I checked my messages. So I end up calling back. Now you got to go through the process, the recorder to get to them. And unfortunately, they wasn't available at that time and the voicemail was full. So I couldn't leave a message. The next morning I woke up and she passed.
Yeah, man, life is just one of those things, man. You never know, you know, and that's why it was so important for me to be here. You know, for you, I just think it was ordained by God just to be in this presence. But again, I listen to you. I like your views. You know, it's just one of those things. But you never know.
Yeah,
and that's the thing I tell people, man. You just never know. And so in that particular situation, you know, Brandon was one of my little mentees,
right?
You know, and we, you know, I'm not, you know, me, I ain't gonna chase nobody, but me and Brandon, you know, it's cool. And then for a couple months wasn't talking, and then got back. But I remember it was a clave, and I couldn't make it to the clave because I always had to work.
Right.
And this is when he was doing his music, and he would send me little things every now and then. And so one of the last messages I still have it on my Instagram. He's like, "Dog, you need to be here, team. You need to be here for this clave. Why you ain't here?" I was like, "Man, I gotta work, man." I was like, "You know, set it out for me." He's like, "All right, I'm gonna set it out for you, and I'll holler at you later."
That was it.
And that's the last message I ever, you know, got from him. So it's just those type of things, you know. So that even made me want to be a better mentor because, again, I was at a place where I didn't chase nobody. But you never know if I make that one extra phone call, you know, what that could mean to somebody.
Yeah.
And so, you know, just, you know, rest in peace to the Billups family,
Yes,
man.
definitely.
You know, rest in peace to
condolences.
And, you know, condolences. I mean, excuse me, just blessings to them, man. They really need us right now.
Yep. Yeah, that's tough, man. So, you know, we don't want to just divert, but you know, we will digress. Let's transition, digress from that. And like we said, man, much love though. 21 Savage.
Yeah.
21.
Probably about, I would say, a week ago, he was on Jimmy Fallon, from what I understand, and he was talking about Flint, Michigan, what's going on, and was talking about the immigration issue that's, you know, really tearing this nation apart. I mean, it's like we've said a couple weeks ago, you know, it could lead to another civil war. I mean, we've got two very distinct views on the issue.
Right.
And it's black and white. There is no gray in this.
No.
Now, 21 has been deported. Come to find out that he was born in the UK, and his visa has been expired. Correct?
Yep.
And
well, they said his visa had expired, but they were saying like it wasn't. It was expired like when he was young, though.
Yeah, the reports that I saw that he came like he was 7 years old.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
right.
You know, that's just like me. You know what I'm saying? They could deport me back to Columbus. Right. Like, you know, I left when I was 2.
Right.
You know,
well, that's what we had what's called the Dreamers, where Obama, you know, allowed Dreamers to stay, and that was one thing that the current administration is no. If you're illegal, you're illegal. There's no, but you know, if you come as, like you said, a 7-year-old, how's a 7-year-old? Why are you gonna punish?
Right, and you're gonna send him back to something that he has no familiarity with. Like he wasn't raised there, wasn't born. I mean, he was born, but he wasn't raised. So it's like, you know, this is home. This is where he's been.
And he's been locked up 2 times, from what I understand. And you can't tell me that at some point when they locked him up, they would have found out this guy doesn't have a visa. And so you wonder, you know, who is ICE number 1, right?
Yeah.
Like this sounds, and I don't want to throw this out there, man, but it's like some, you know, German these
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
Nazi like
Yeah.
stuff, you know? You come in and just take them out,
Yeah.
out. Let's put these kids in these camps. Let's put them. Let's do this. Like this is stuff that happens under your nose,
And
real
distractions.
fast.
We talked about that. Distractions.
Real fast. A month ago, we were talking about R. Kelly,
Mm-hmm.
and that's dead and gone.
Yep.
Now they trying to revive that.
Well, they are, but you got to think. But just like how we say,
Right.
you talk about something, then
Right.
boom,
The-
next
the-
day
the
it's
cycle,
something
the
else.
media
Yeah,
cycle,
media
yes.
cycle.
Yes.
Exactly.
But the thing is, and I got to give a shout out to my man Ricky J, because he said this. He said he do want to hear it, his English voice though.
Right. Like Idris Elba. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think about it, you didn't know it till you knew.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, hold on, wait, what he do? What he where? But yeah,
But going back to your point, your brother, I think is like you said, man. So much stuff happened up under our nose, but we don't, as a community, man, as a people, we don't take up for one another because it don't apply to me.
yeah, that's true.
It don't apply to me. So until
I don't want to get my hands dirty.
right, and that's a lot of people. It's fake. Put the little thing on the, Instagram. Free 21, but what did Jay do? Jay got him a lawyer.
Yeah, he did.
That's what we talking about. That's what we need.
Yeah.
So that's it's just a sad situation, man. I hope this last album was bang. I mess with 21, man.
Yeah,
It was
I mess with
amazing.
21.
He matured as an artist.
I mess
A
with
lot.
on a
21.
whole other level.
Yeah,
A
So,
lot.
shouts out to him.
Yeah,
Hope he gets
man.
stuff together, bro.
Yeah, and then that's the thing, man. We, like you said, supporting one another is key. And a lot of times, we don't realize that's that key piece missing.
Yeah.
In order for us to build and grow, in the communities or whatnot. So it's pretty.
But on his part, he should have had his ducks in a row. He should have had them lined up. He should have had the visa.
Well, they said he had applied for it in
so.
2017. They said he applied for it, and it was like, I guess, a delay in the system or whatever the case may be.
It
They
will
ain't do it.
happen.
But I mean, I said that too. Like, I mean, come on, like if but I guess he didn't know that it was an issue. You know what I mean? Like, if you've been getting away or doing whatever that long, then why would it be? But
and like you said, it's the timing of it. When you start talking about it, you start.
Come on.
Hey.
Hey, we don't know what's going on, man. So Liam Neeson. That's
The
I will find you.
I will hunt you.
I will hunt you down.
Special set of skills.
Hey, special set. And
He's got a special mouth.
When I'll slap Liam.
Hey man, look.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody know Liam Neeson for, Taken.
A bad,
1,
he a
2.
bad parent, man.
Man, come on. He's done Lord of the Rings. This dude's done
he was
Star
Lord of the
Wars.
Rings.
This
He was
dude's
Lord of
done
the Rings,
He is such
Yeah.
a diverse actor. I love Liam Neeson as an actor.
Yeah.
But like
It's unacceptable what he did.
Yes.
What he said. What he said.
Like-
What he portrayed.
some things you cannot say.
He felt that comfortable, and the thing about the twist is, certain people taking up for him, saying that he had a crossroads moment. Terry Crews said that. And it's just like, no, that's not cool, man. You just went out and this was gonna bash somebody in the head
And kill him.
And
He
kill
said,
him.
I'm gonna kill him. I was ready to
Any
kill him.
black
Yeah,
person.
Any
correct?
black person.
bastard. Let's
Right.
get it
Oh,
real.
okay.
He said,
Any black bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
what
will
he said.
kill them.
That was quote. Now,
And he said it. I didn't see him but he said it confidently.
Well,
like I said this.
yeah, that was the take.
But- In his credit, I mean, a lot of people, which we'll get to the governor, like you try to cover your tracks. So if you've done something racist,
you better
at
tell.
least
Yeah.
be honest. At least
And
be
that-
upfront.
and
Like,
that's-
I said it
I feel that.
instead
Like,
of hiding it. Like
yeah, but see, that's where I was about to get to. Okay, so
sorry.
Donald Trump. All right, let's take Trump. We're not going into Trump, but I'm just taking Trump as for right now. He has really built a platform for people to just uncover themselves,
For good or for bad.
for good or for bad, whatever they feel. So, like right now, honestly, we're in a state where, people are just basically saying who they are.
Yes.
If they're racist, that's what I believe. If there was a lynching right now, I'll be front row. That's what the Mississippi lady said, the senator.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like they're just coming out with these things and they say them, and then it's like, I would rather know that
Yeah.
than to be sitting in a room and not know.
And I'm glad you said that, because throughout our history, black excellence has always been met with white mediocrity.
Mhm.
And you look at, okay, President Obama wasn't perfect. All right, let's get it out there. He made a lot of mistakes, you know. But as an African American, let us make our mistakes like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And so now the country was so outraged, like, how could this happen? That a segment of society said, okay, we're going to raise this person up. And you know, when the election happened and when, you know, he was elected president, you know, it was just like, you know, it was almost like a comedy, like, okay, this didn't really just happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now, you know, I like to use the term, you know, dog whistle. It's a dog whistle. Now people, a certain segment, feel emboldened that they can say certain things, that they can act a certain way.
Yeah.
But again, I come from a very old place in Cleveland where you get slapped in your mouth.
Right.
So be careful. You know, just be careful what you say. Be careful. Just because, and now we can slap you in the mouth with the vote. We can slap you in the mouth with, you know, different things. And so these governors and all these people coming out, we as a people, as an underrepresented people and people in general, just need to band together and say, okay, this ain't right. Because now it goes back to what you're saying with the 21 Savage situation. Nobody spoke up. Now that he's, you know, doing his thing, or he got his situation, now people want to speak up. Let's keep that same momentum forward, because it could be a kid in your school.
Yeah.
Who's going to speak up for that kid in the school? Who's going to get that kid a lawyer?
Yeah. So
that's why we as a people, like you said, we gotta make sure we stick together on this.
Yeah, and keep the same energy. That's real.
Same energy.
Yeah.
Now, going with that, you mentioned the governor from Virginia. I mean, that whole situation, it seems like you dig the hole deeper. You know, I'm sure both of you read up on it.
Yes.
He in the yearbook, which at the end of the day, the university should be at fault. I mean, you put a picture of a man dressed in a KKK outfit next to a gentleman with blackface, you know, and then everybody's like, well, were you the one, the blackface? You're the one, the KKK?
Right.
Kind of like one of them will make it
Right,
less worse. Like,
like,
if you did blackface, it's
right,
okay.
yeah,
KKK?
no, you gotta go.
They're both wrong. Like, why would you put that on that page? And then he goes back and says, no, that wasn't me. But a couple years ago, I put black shoe polish on my face to be like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make it better. Like, you just keep digging your hole deeper, sir.
And we're Al Yankovic, and that's so funny. We're Al Yankovic did Michael Jackson and put blackface on. He did Coolio and did put blackface on.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go all out. But it's just like, okay, again, it's like you said, it's in being emboldened and empowered to say this and now forgive me. No, man, you got to be held accountable for that.
But in the same token, are we sitting here as individuals on a podcast or somewhere else, and we're demonizing these small time players, and we're not demonizing like the overall inequities going on? Like, we're not demonizing the university who put the picture in it. Like, that's like attacking the governor or attacking Liam Neeson or attacking some other character or some other senator. Like, clearly our government is run by white privileged old men who just feel they've done anything in the past, and now we're just now finding out.
Right.
You know.
Well, it goes back to the politics. Let's go back to the politics. Let's go back to football.
Yeah.
Penn State received a death penalty for the most part, which they should. But it was called what? Lack of institutional control. So meaning there was a culture there.
Right.
Yes.
Same thing.
At that is a medical school, I think. Like,
it's a culture.
Yeah, it's
a culture that feels comfortable to be able to do this and be okay with it. Because obviously that yearbook was handed out.
Right.
And what year was that again?
1980.
Yeah. So since the 80s, that yearbook is out. So I'm pretty sure some of their friends, I remember this.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lack of institutional control.
Yeah.
So yeah, they should be totally held responsible for that.
Yep.
Yeah, totally held responsible for that.
Yep. It's really, be held accountable.
Break.
Huh?
Take a quick break.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
We got some people in the studio. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, we got a gentleman in the orange sweatshirt, and then we have a gentleman with the hat on. So, no, that's Melvin and the Natural Born Tourist, aka Casper James. That's the lovely video footage that we have on our YouTube page. Check it out.
All right. Hey, y'all, man, it's Blended Views, man. Tune in. Stay tuned in. Give us a call, 614-500-7339. Give us a call, man. If you call in, we get a free ticket to our Absolute Fashion New State of Style Fashion show coming soon, man. February 16th. Don't want to miss it. It's Valentine's Day weekend, but check it out.
Get your significant other.
Yeah, it's right
Blended views.
I have no doubt that you would be bored senseless if I failed. The same way I'm bored when I brush my teeth and wipe my ass. Because the thing about repairing, maintaining, and cleaning is it's not an adventure. There's no way to do it so wrong you might die. It's just work. And the bottom line is, some people are okay going to work, and some people would rather die. Each of us gets to choose.
Man, what is up, everybody? This your boy D, the Prophet.
It's your boy JR the Great, man. We back.
We got Kenny G. To my
No,
Oh,
no.
Kenny G. Nah, man, goody.
Sorry.
Oh, Kenny G.
Nah.
You know that's the joke for now,
Yeah,
all right?
yeah.
Kenny G.
Um,
Woo. All right,
bro.
You all right?
I'm good.
So now,
I had to run up the steps
Sounds
real
like
quick. Nah, we good though. Ken Goodrum in the building, y'all,
Ken
man.
How's everybody doing out there?
You good?
Can't complain, man.
There it is, man.
so just entering the building, we got the flow. I already said 8:30, man.
All right.
8:30. To my left, Katanya Ingram, the gallery hop singer, and to my right, NGS Mercy. They're going to be going on at 8:30 on the flow. This is the 4th episode of the flow. Super excited for it. So that's
Yeah.
beside the point. But.
Right. So, hey man, we've been having a good time in here, man. We've been talking about everything that's been going on in the world right now, man. Trending topics. You know, a little bit of Liam Neeson, 21 Savage, the
Governor
senator,
Northam.
yeah,
No, governor.
Governor. I'm sorry.
He leads a whole state.
Yeah, man.
That's worrisome.
Yeah, it is, man.
But granted, what's funny is, like, I don't know, guy who wrote, Dr. Christopher Emdin, he wrote For White Folks Who Teach in the Hood.
Mhm.
Governor Northam, like, spoke at an education conference and was
Mhm.
talking about the inequities and, like, how he's helping. And he's really a great governor. Like, he's done a lot of great things. So his thing was, like, now that this comes out, do we suddenly just demonize this guy and say he needs to be impeached, get him out of office? Is that going to fix it? Is that really going to fix anything by saying, okay, we're going to exile this man? You know, when he's actually doing things for the culture, like he's doing things now. He did something stupid in the past, but he's doing something positive now.
It depends on how he moved next. Because that's a
Okay.
good point. It depends on how you move next. I
Mhm.
think that, you know, some people may not agree with me, but I think that everybody is redeemable.
Yes. And that's for
So-
forgiveness on your talk.
And so I think that everybody's redeemable. It's just now, how do you move?
Mhm.
How do you move now?
Yeah.
So now let's start looking back at, certain laws that, what kind of laws did he institute? Like what, we just got to you got to really watch that situation closely, and he has to allow himself to be watched closely.
Yes.
So he on parole, basically.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah.
You brought it out. Thank you. So now we got to watch how you move.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Because everybody that day was like, he got to go. He got to
Yeah.
go. And he didn't go. He's, he's like, I did it. But then he dug the hole deeper and made it worse.
Yeah.
It ain't the crime, it's a cover up.
Right.
Man, Killer Mike is like,
Man, killer.
he is doing amazing things right now. And the Trigger Warning show, super dope.
Mhm.
He was on the Breakfast Club here.
Yeah.
I think it was the last week. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Last week.
Yeah.
Okay. Him and Envy really touched on something that hits home with me: education. Private schools versus public schools. Which one provides a better education? And I love Killer Mike's point.
Right.
Okay. You're telling me, and Envy's like, well, private education provides a better education. So I need to sell out and just get an education from, quote unquote, like a white education frame and say it provides it better. But he's like, no, wait a minute. We pay taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, these are a lot of schools are named after historic, like black. He's like Frederick Douglass and
Martin Luther King. Yeah.
yes.
And then he also made the point of saying that, Envy said that the teachers within the public school system don't care as much as teachers in the private school
It's
system.
not the case.
It can't be the case. I mean, you
No.
don't know, first of all. I mean, it may be a different dynamic. I mean, when you think about it, the private schools parents may invest a little bit more because they're paying
$15,000
what I
to send their
mean?
child. They're treating it like college.
Right. But
And it's that it goes back to that thing, white don't mean right. It doesn't mean, it is what it is. It's what Killer Mike said, and me and my sister, she's on here right now. My sister just had this brief conversation about this too. You got to look at it as that you take the best kids out of that neighborhood and you told them where they're living is not good enough. You told them where they're going to school is not good enough.
Yes.
So now, in order for you to get a quality education, you got to go all the way out here.
Yes.
Well, if we and you correct me if I'm wrong, the way that students are being taught is not to teach to master. They're taught to take tests.
Yes. They're taught to be a robot.
Yes.
And then get through it. You're to do this, that, and the other. Just, it's like a game of Tetris.
Yes. So
we're gonna fit them perfectly in, and that's not how a child works. It's not how their brain works.
Right.
It's so fluid.
And so you do that, and then they criminalize the schools.
Yes.
So this just happened. What's the day? Thursday, Tuesday or Wednesday. A kid calls up to my son's school and said he gonna shoot the school up. Guess where there's not metal detectors? Not in that school. Not in these rural schools where you see all these school shooters. But then we go to the inner city schools, it's metal detectors. So when you criminalize the school, you are preparing them for that pipeline to prison.
Yep.
So now these same communities that aren't represented well, they're in their mind, they're saying, well, I don't want my kid to go to this school. Let me pay thousands of dollars because they're gonna get a better education. That's not necessarily true. And it's a case-by-case scenario. Now, am I for school choice to a certain extent? To a certain extent, yes. But as a community, we have to invest in our schools. We have to do that as parents. It's our responsibility. I don't care what nobody say. It's our responsibility to go to that school and demand the best. So like I tell my son, you advocate for education. You got to.
And that's where Envy was wrong. It's not the teachers don't care, it's the community.
The community
that
doesn't care.
has lost sight of they don't care.
Right.
Yeah, I know too many teachers, man. There are too many teachers that work hard, that want to teach. That's the thing about it. They want to teach and they feel constraint that I can't do this because I got to do Common Core. You stress them out, Common Core. And a lot of those things are not culturally relevant. Correct me if I'm wrong. You in this field.
No,
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'll stop you.
All right.
He-
So-
he will.
Yeah.
So it
Oh,
ain't
he
the-
will.
Oh,
So the thing is, it doesn't mean now if you want to take your son or daughter to and you feel that's better, okay. I don't begrudge you.
Yeah.
But don't you sit up here and try to say what ain't happening here. No, because we keep taking the cream of the crop out of our neighborhoods, telling them again where you stay is not important.
Yep.
We then become disenfranchised with our own neighborhoods.
Yep.
We don't have the pride in our own neighborhood.
pride.
And so
Yeah,
that's what
key.
it is, man.
That's
It's a
key.
community. It's not about me and mine. It's about us. We have to get that through our brain.
Mhm.
And that was one of the comments that she said. And I love her. I love her to life. That's my sister. I love her to life. But she said it's not my responsibility. Yes, it is.
It's
Yes, it
everybody's
is. Because what
responsibility.
if Harriet Tubman said that?
Mhm.
That ain't my responsibility. Medgar Evers, what if he would have said that? It ain't my responsibility. Where would we be?
Where will we be?
So it's our responsibility, even though I plan to leave Xenia as soon as I can, but while I'm there, I'm making an impact for the kids that's coming after my son.
Yes.
So it's better for them.
Mhm.
Same thing at Central State. 2 different generations of students to go here. Him and him. The same fight that you hired was you, he'll tell you I was the same way. Why? Because I want it better for my son when he go.
Right.
To have an option.
Mhm.
And so it's our responsibility as a community. I love you, Dottie, but you were wrong, baby.
Hey, so
That's what it makes me like debate. Like,
yeah, it's cool because it's
Mm.
you got perspectives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what we talk about here.
Yeah.
Blended views, man. You got to have your own, man. And that's one thing that I just like to keep, key with people is you should have your own train of thought. You know what I mean? You shouldn't just because this is what the media is saying or this is what everybody is portraying that's right or wrong. Because we can get into the Jussie Smollett situation. You know what I mean? But we not.
I'm getting hammered for my views.
Me
on that.
too. Me too, man.
My views ain't blended on that one.
And I mean, it's just one of those things. But then you start to think, like, why wouldn't you have your own thought process on this topic or this issue?
And then one more thing, and I would continue to encourage you, man, as a principal, and I know you just based upon what I hear, challenge your students to think.
Mhm.
That's the part that we're not doing
Yeah.
for our
Critical
kids.
thinking.
Yeah.
Critical thinking.
and I think that's where Common Core goes wrong
Right,
because
yes,
they say we are having them
yes,
critically
Yes, yes.
but it's like it's a whole different level
Yeah,
of critical
yes.
thinking. You've got to question things around you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like critical
realistic.
thinking that gives them a constraint,
Yeah.
puts them in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you critically think, you got to think outside
Smash the box.
Yeah.
Smash the box.
Gotcha.
And
So-
that's tough for like a administration or a teacher
yeah,
because when kids start questioning, then it's because they're becoming disobedient.
yeah.
But it's
But don't look at it as
yeah,
disobedience.
it's how we
You
look
know?
at it. Yeah, and I'm glad you said it because as a parent, I was raised, and I love my mom, so she did an excellent job. She had 2 hard-headed kids she had to raise.
Mhm.
But I had to think different with my kids.
Yes.
I had to now. Yes, is whoopings an option on my? Yes, my kids know getting a whooping is on the table. They know it,
So if you know it,
right? In my life, violence is always optional. But before we get there, man, let's talk.
yeah,
Let's teach.
Yes.
Let's teach. Let's talk.
Yes.
Let's talk this
Yes.
out. You're not questioning me. You just really don't understand.
yeah,
And if you don't understand, it's my job as the parent
Yes.
to train you.
Yeah.
It's your job as the educator to train. Now, again, we don't want to walk that fine line of disobedience and defiance.
Yeah.
But when we start smothering open thought and just because a kid they don't understand
Yeah.
something or learn different, no, it got to be this way. No, we're not
And it's-
robots.
Man, it's funny you say it because I think it starts reaching like disobedience when you start getting emotional about it. You
Yeah.
cannot take what a child says personal. You really can't. I
Yeah.
mean, kids go through phases, they go through
Yeah.
developmental stages, and you already know they reach 13, they're gonna be a whole other
a little
level.
loose lippy.
So you just have to realize, okay, this is a stage.
Yeah,
I have to treat it as such, and I need to set boundaries.
yeah,
And I have to. You can't be your child's friend. You can't be your student's friend. You can't you got to set boundaries, and people don't set boundaries.
Yeah.
Well, I got a different way of thinking on that too.
Okay.
I'm my kid's friend. Because what's the first thing we say?
What?
When you're a kid. Okay, one thing my mom
don't
said.
talk to strangers.
No. I ain't one of your little friends.
Yeah.
But she didn't understand. I wouldn't talk to her about that. Who do I go talk to? My little friends. So friendship has boundaries.
Okay, yeah,
Friendship
but a
has
different level of friendship,
Right.
not like
But-
right.
I'm gonna party with my
No.
dad. You know,
A friend is a person to tell you it's a booger in your nose. A friend is not going to have you going out here looking sideways.
Right.
A friend is going to check you when you do
Right.
something
Yes.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, like
So
if your
my
breath
thing-
stink.
If your breath
I'ma tell
stink.
you.
So my thing, I
Mhm.
want my kids to be
Yes.
I'm their
Yes.
friend. I want to be their friend.
Yes.
It's up to them to do that, but it's with boundaries.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're
no.
defining it. Yes.
Yeah, Dad, can we go? No, I still, but as a friend, I want them to be able to come talk to me
Mhm.
because I don't want them to learn lessons that should be taught at home
Exactly.
out here on the
Yes.
street.
That's right.
Yes.
So then when parents get older, when we get older, now all of a sudden, well, you don't talk to me. We want to be friends. No, you remember you told me we wasn't friends. We wasn't friends when I was little. So keep that same energy. I love you, Mom. She probably gonna hit me when she sees me. But keep that same energy.
Yeah.
But it's within boundaries. That's what
Yep.
I'm saying.
Yep.
Friendship, everything has a particular
Yeah.
boundary. So it is about that definition.
Even close friends, you still have boundaries. Like,
Yes.
okay, we can do this.
Right.
This time. Friends with benefits, friends
Right.
without benefits.
Homie love a friend,
Yeah,
you know?
Homie love.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Nah.
Oops.
Hey,
Am I gonna get us canceled?
man, look.
Look at her. She looked at her eyes got big. She like,
Hey,
don't you say
hey,
Don't you say
Hey,
that.
on that note, hey, look, on that note, bro.
21.
Let's take that to a segment, man. I think we touched on we're gonna take this segment and then we're gonna wrap it up.
We're gonna take a
No, we're not.
No,
We're gonna
we
go
going
right
right
into
into
it.
it.
Yeah, let's go
Go
right
right
into
into
this moment in time, man. We got D the Prophet got a moment in time. There's something that we want to incorporate for the Black History Month. Just touching on something that was relevant in our history. And so D, go ahead and give us that spiel.
Yeah, just to kind of give you a forewarning, like Black Panther was one of the greatest films of last year.
Mhm.
And when I first started teaching, I heard about Black Wall Street, and I was like, oh, what is this? What happened? Like you hear about, like, we're bombing our own city, like we destroyed, essentially Atlanta before it was an Atlanta type situation. So I found an article that kind of summarizes well. I'm going to post it on our Facebook page so you can read it. I'm just going to read a little snippets from it. But again, check it out. It's amazing. So Black Wall Street, the African-American haven that burned and then rose from the ashes. The story of Tulsa, Oklahoma's Greenwood district isn't well known. But the racially motivated destruction of the thriving community in the early 20th century has never been told in a manner worthy of its importance as the 100-year anniversary approaches. And this was wrote in June 28th of 2018. So local residents in Hollywood grapple with how to tell the story of a town's dark past. And I think it's perfect right now in this day and age of a lot of racism coming out. Like, this story needs to be told. So and the initial quote that they said was in the article, "Don't you realize that Greenwood was Wakanda before Wakanda?" So
Wakanda.
Wakanda.
Put an R in there.
Gotta put Wakanda.
Wakanda.
So according to eyewitness accounts, the scope of the attack was equal to warfare. Homeowners shot dead in their front yards, planes dropping turpentine bombs onto buildings, a machine gun firing bullets on a neighborhood church. It was a living nightmare. And for many decades, Tulsa treated it as such, a dark apparition of the mind that might fade from memory so long as it was repressed. Before its burning, Greenwood Avenue had been lined with hotels, restaurants, furriers, and even an early taxi service using a Ford Model T. Nearly 200 businesses populated the 35 square block district in all. And this is what Killer Mike was talking about, like taking back the community, as did some homes as stately as the ones owned by upper-class whites in the same city. That was the vision Mashari conjured when he invoked Wakanda, the Afro-futuristic utopia in Black Panther. Before it became a nightmare, Black Wall Street was a dream in progress, a symbol of Black success in a turbulent period of racialized violence. Selma, Alabama, where an attack on peaceful marchers became a flashpoint in the civil rights movement, has a commemoration every year that regularly attracts sitting presidents. But Tulsa's massacre happened in a time that we don't talk about, when Black independence and white resentment collided in an especially violent way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, check out the rest of the article. It's amazing. We got a call in.
Okay.
Let's do it. Blended views. Hello, caller.
Who's it?
Who's still calling?
Who is it?
Hello.
Oh, what up, Reese?
What up, Reese?
Yeah,
What's up,
Reese
baby girl?
Johnson.
What's
What's
up, baby
good?
girl?
Hey man, so now I was calling you, chiming in with you guys. First of all, when I saw the flyer that, Kenny, we look who get a nigga.
Kenny G.
No, don't do that.
Kenny G.
Don't do that. I told y'all violence is an option.
But no, when I saw it, I thought y'all was going to be talking more about Black history, So I definitely, my man, Mr. G, back going here so you can, y'all can dive in on that topic real deep. Huh?
Black history as
Yeah,
a whole.
we got you.
But I did have a question. Since you're in there, and you guys did hit on a couple different topics regarding, Black history and stuff like that. You guys, talked about, the athletic sports and stuff like that. You guys also hit on the education system. But I had a question, and it's about a system that Black people haven't really dove into yet. And it's a prison system. So I came across a question the other day. Should we as Black people invest in private prisons? I kind of want you guys' input on that. And I'm asking this question because the criminal justice system was founded based on the intent to
Continue racism. Slavery.
to punish Black people. That's where slave catchers came from.
Right.
Slavery. And then, they put out bounties, and that's how you got bounty hunters, and now you have police. You know what I'm saying? And then we just talked about how the system, demoralizes the people that are in jail and then expects them to be productive citizens outside. And so somebody said that maybe if more Black people are invested in private prisons, you can turn them around and make them into, prisons, but, places for people to, what do you call it?
Be
Rehabilitated.
yeah, rehabilitated. Right.
Yeah, rehabilitated and also actively educated.
Okay.
So what's your thoughts on that?
Well, unfortunately, I work in that industry for the youth. I currently work at an intervention center, and House Bill number 4. I should know this by heart, but forgive me. But anyway, long story made short, it says that they want to take youth and not imprison them, but put them more in treatment facilities, and then not really the overnight treatment facilities, but more so outpatient, for lack of a better term.
Right.
So to talk to what Ms. Larice is talking about, if you're using that same concept for prisons, I'm kind of on the fence about Black people invested in private prisons, because if you invest something, what do you need? A return. What's the only way you're gonna get your return? Keep the jails populated.
Right.
And so I can understand what you're saying in theory, but then we would also have to work within the actual framework of the Justice Department to kind of to help reshape laws. So again, I'm not against that's an outside the box way of thinking, and that's a way to think about it. Just my perspective is, if I invest in something or in someone, I want a return.
Right.
So if I invest in a prison, you got to keep this prison filled. And so now once you're there, what I do with you, I can understand that. But then I don't know if it's a per diem. I know back they used to, they don't do it now too much, but back when I worked at a facility here in Columbus, it was a per diem, and at that time it was $500 a day per kid.
Sheesh.
And that facility was packed. It had to stay packed in order to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
And so, but that's a very interesting. That's something I have to take to the lab.
And it is, and with that though, Reese, we gonna actually put that on our list of topics to dive into. Yeah, we're gonna dive into that next time. So for you calling today, we got a ticket for you to the Absolute Fashion show. So we thank you for calling. You know what I'm saying? We definitely appreciate it, and we got to get you back on the show too. Because
put us both on the show.
Yeah,
that's my homie.
Yeah,
that's my homie.
Yeah, we got something brewing. We're gonna brew it up though. So you stay tuned, man. We got the flow coming up next. So we'll get with you on that next topic, and then we'll get you back on the show too. So thank you for calling, and I'm gonna get with you and get you that ticket, okay? All right, much love.
But I want to, you talked about Killer Mike. I want to just touch on a couple things. I like what he is doing. It's not about agreeing with everything, but it's about thinking outside the box for solutions for society.
Yes.
To the episode that really, and I'm gonna do a shameless plug if that's okay. The episode that really hit home to me is the very first one when he tried to go black and everything. He couldn't do it. Now this is in Atlanta.
How long did money stay in the black community?
6 hours.
$6. Yeah.
6 hours.
This is in Atlanta.
Right.
The real chocolate city.
Yeah.
And he couldn't go black for 3 days. And so that inspired me. So I do what's called a Black Friday tour, and I highlight different black businesses, and I Facebook Live shout them out in the Dayton area.
Right. I saw that you went to the winery.
Yeah, went to the winery. I'm going to this other another spot this Friday, and it's not just gonna be February. I'm gonna do it for a whole year because again, it's not. You don't have to be anti. Nobody has a problem with Koreatown.
No.
Nobody has a problem with Chinatown.
Little Italy.
Little Italy. When I was growing up in Cleveland, black people, I'm still my mother's people in her age would tell me, as black people, you couldn't even go in Little Italy. Nobody has a problem with that. But the second that we say we want to have a community, and just like Killer Mike said, Black Wall Street was in Cleveland too. It was in Columbus. A bomb didn't drop on it, but crack did. Same type of bomb, just killed them slowly.
Just didn't come from the sky.
Didn't come from the sky, came from
within.
Don't want to get pulled over on the way home, but so the bomb still hit. We wasn't treated with treatment centers. We were put in jail for being addicts. Think about that. You were put in jail for being an addict. But now that fentanyl and opioids is hit, now we have sympathy.
Now we want to do rehabilitation.
Now we want to do rehabilitation. That kind of goes back to what Larissa was talking about to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So
now we want to do these in the school system, restorative justice.
Restorative justice. And I like
move away from suspension.
Right.
Let's restore
justice.
Yeah, I
so
have peace on that.
This kid, I was told, could actually probably get back into school sometime.
Yeah.
Think about that. So Killer Mike, shout out to him, man. What he's doing is out there. What he's doing out there is great. If you get a chance to watch it on Netflix, please watch it. Trigger warnings, man. It's a lot of things you may not agree with.
Yeah.
You may not agree with it, but it gives you a chance to really think outside the box.
Yeah. Hey, dope. Super dopeness. We super live. We want to thank my man Ken Goodrum tonight.
Appreciate you.
Hey man, thank you for coming out here.
Can I get one last shout out to the lady, to my mom, man. I love that one. I'm a mother's boy. I'm a mama's boy. So I wouldn't be where I'm at today without my mother, man.
I think all three of us could say
she put up with me, and I was tripping. And so thank you to her. I want to give her flowers while she is alive.
Yeah, that's
man.
dope.
Thank you to my family again for sharing me. Thank you for you too, man. I'm just humbled just for being here. Thank you to all my friends and loved ones and everyone out there. This is just a real humbling experience, and I just want to just make sure people just try to do better, man. Just try to treat people better. You know what I'm saying? Just live every day the best that you can. Try to help somebody else out. No such thing as try. Help somebody else out. Help somebody. Just do it, man. So thank you for this platform. There's no competition out here. And I was told, I'm gonna close with this. I was told by somebody I really care about that, flowers don't compete. Every flower is beautiful. So we don't need to compete, man. It's enough out here for everybody to get some. So big salute to you. Big salute to Belinda Views. Big salute to everybody in here, man. Y'all do y'all thing. And love, man.
That's what's up. Thanks, man. All right, man. So y'all already know, man.
Leave me hanging. Was it the Kenny G comment? Are you still sour?
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Do big things in that school, man.
Hey, it was Kenny G. He don't like that. Hey, but hey, shout out to everybody, man. We appreciate the love. We appreciate everybody that tuned in this evening. Y'all keep checking us out.
We got the swerve, brother.
You got the swerve?
Swerve? What's up?
Negative.
Right. So we don't have the swerve until
I thought you had one.
I don't. I know. Yeah, I missed it. I blew it. So we gonna come with 2 next week. We gonna come with the 2 next week.
We typically do.
Yeah, we do that sometimes. You know, we got a fun-filled packed night tonight, man. We going right into the flow. So y'all, you know, stay tuned, keep watching, man. And until next time,
Blended views.
conversations for the soul. We out.
All right.
All right, y'all.
And the homie loving friend was just a joke. Okay?
We still on. We still on.
Oh,
Air.
I'm sorry. That was
We
just
still
a
on
joke.
air.
Yeah.
I saw her.
Right.
Yeah,
Talking about no, you
All
did.
right, we
People on my
out.
time.